Assalamu alaikum, my friends. Inshallah, you are doing well. I'm going to start by reading an ayah. This ayah says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إنما المؤمنون إخوة فأصلحوا بين أخويكم واتقوا الله لعلكم ترحمون. What is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling us in this ayah? He is telling us that the believers are like brothers. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that the relationship between those who are believers is like the relationship between brothers. So that tells us that it's a very close, tight-knit relationship. Does that tell us that friendship is important in Islam? Absolutely. It's really important to have friends in Islam, but the basis of our friendship should be our faith. So today, inshallah, we're going to be talking about what qualities make a good friend and why friendship is important. I'm going to ask you that question. Why do you think it's important to have friends? It's probably easier to just be on our own, practice our faith properly, just do a good job, make sure that we're praying well, we're fasting well, just do things and go in our path, and then we're good, right? We don't have to deal with others, we don't have to deal with people's problems. But why do you think it's important to have friends? So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created humans as social beings. We thrive when we are together. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us to stay together and hold on to the rope of Allah together and to not separate or disperse. Because when we are together, we are actually stronger, right? When we pray together in jama'ah, we feel stronger, we feel more connected. It's important to have a community and it's important to have those strong friendships. And because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us, He knows what's best for us. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that human beings actually thrive when they are together. But it's important that those connections are based and built on something that is good, the faith. So there are friendships that can lead you to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and there are friendships that can take you away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what do you think are the qualities of a good friend that will lead you towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So those qualities, the first one would be that this person, when you are with them, you actually feel closer to Allah. They encourage you to do the good things. They encourage you to do the good deeds. When you're with them, you feel this sense of peacefulness, the serenity, and you help each other. When that person sees you slipping or moving away from Allah, they motivate you to get closer, not the opposite. They don't drag you down or motivate you to move away from Allah. They actually pull you closer to Allah. That's the first quality of a good friend. The other quality of a good friend is if they see you making a mistake, they are able to advise you in a kind way, in an effective way, but they don't leave you on your own to do that mistake. They actually give you nasiha. They give you advice. And that actually is a quality of a very strong friendship. It means that your connection is so strong that you are able to give each other advice without that affecting your connection, because what's holding you together is the faith. And then you know that you have a good friend. It's not a friend who just tells you what you want to hear. If they see you making a mistake, they laugh and they go on and do the mistake with you. No, no, no. They actually help you move away from that because they care for you. They want what's best for you. So those are the qualities of a good friend. Are there other qualities that can tell us that we have a good friend? A good friend can make you laugh. They actually have this lightheartedness to them. They're not constantly complaining. They're not negative. They're not always criticizing you. They're someone who has a kind, calm spirit. It's someone that uplifts you, brings you positive feelings. It's really important to be pleasant in our relationships. So you can assess that by being with this person. If after spending time with this person, you feel a sense of joy and upliftedness and happiness, it means they're a good friend. If you actually step away from that person at the end of your connection or your time with them and you feel sad and tired, this person is actually draining your energy. They're not being a good friend. Of course, we all go through difficulties in life, and friends are supposed to support each other during those difficulties. So your friend might come to you when they're facing a problem. But if your relationship is always just problems, and talking about negativity, this person is not a good friend. So those are only some of the qualities that make up a good, strong friendship in Islam. And subhanAllah, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the believers, He uses the word ikhwa. brother. So that relationship is very strong. It's very important that we always support each other as Muslims and take care of our friendships and take care of our connections because it will help us get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I hope this was beneficial, and I hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala unite the Muslims and make our connections stronger, inshallah. And I will see you next time. Assalamu alaikum.